finished subject 2 today, but I want to get started on subject 3 while I've got the time. Subject 3 is called, or has the label, hurting. So this one might be a downer. Not that it's been sunshine and roses so far. I picked up some arts and crafts supplies at the dollar store yesterday. Not sure what I'm going to use them for yet. Figured maybe if I have more dialogue with myself, I can color code the different voices, in quotes. I wonder if I have recurring characters. Maybe, but I don't have that many colors, so the colors may not mean anything. Hi, rambling, what should I do today? Probably more Rogue Legacy. I don't know X's schedule or plan. My mailbox in apartment was that I moved to for the lucrative position is like 2 months lapsed. Oh yeah, I don't currently have my business mailbox. I'm just kind of hoping no one sends me business mail. My business isn't much of a business anyway, so it should be fine. I am the business, so just talk to me if you need something. And then on this one, I was just writing with some of the things. Fine pens, pretty colors, fancy, oh, hard to see, pink, purple. And I'll just show it like this. I don't really want to get like too close or too many pictures or anything, because sometimes you can see through, and like censoring it is a pain in the ass. Maybe it's a way of reverting back to childhood. Learn something new by pretending to know nothing at all. And that was written in many different crayon colors, because I'm just, exploring, playing with the tools. Why not, right? I bought them. I'm going to use them. Also markers. 20 colors. Here are just a few. Bold and pretty hue. To liven up the pages of one of my most depressing journals. And that, you get this nice little rainbow down to gray there. Though obviously all of that is a little less covert than this narrow, dull, squiggly text. I can only really play with those in private or when I get back to my apartment. I haven't decided when that will be. Need to do something. Lease is up next month. I also have highlighters and will randomly highlight parts of this page to demonstrate each of them. I suppose I'll just choose words I like. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of this yet. And then I have, in fact, highlighted many words, some to make corrections. I wrote life is hard over haven't decided. Need to do something highlighted. Lease is up highlighted with deadlines written above it. Highlighters is highlighted. Choose is highlighted. And then around that is written too many choices, not enough. What is my goal today? And then I've got some doodles. I was trying to draw, I don't know, I guess how I felt or how small and blobby, formless I felt. It was kind of hard to capture that, but I made it pink and I gave a little face. It's called Puddle Kat. I want to start building Aria, at least some ideas for locations and characters, the overall world, situation, vibe. I'm inspired by Cut and Beta Ocarina of Time, lol, my favorite game. And yeah, there's a lot of cool, things that never made it into the game that spark the imagination of people who like the game, such as myself. Because I'm like, oh man, that would be cool to play. It'd be fun to fight Octoroks that look like the classic Zelda ones, for example. Or it'd be fun to, I wonder what this town would have been like, or what these people would have had to say. They're not in the game, we'll never know. But yeah, I've always wanted to make the kinds of experiences that made me happy as a child. I would love to make a game like Ocarina of Time, or that produces the effect that Ocarina of Time produced on me, on other people, someday. But, games are hard. It's hard to make a good game. And so throughout this, I'm brainstorming a bit. This is 2024, March 10th. Aria's home in the woods could be at the bottom of a mountain. She can't climb until she gets stronger. Tall, icy mountain. A castle of some kind, human-sized. And I thought that'd be fun to fly around. I envision collecting jewels, hopping around a chandelier. Pretty architecture. Gently enchanting. The beaver dam at some body of water. Lakes, rivers, large streams. Mountains to fly around, snow and ice to play in, summery fields. And so it's just, things that I might like in the game. I haven't put much thought into how they'll be represented or much more than big picture, kind of flying obstacles, because you'll be a bird. Flying is going to be how you get around a lot of the time. And so There should be fun things to fly around and see and explore. Ledges to climb on and overlooks and underpasses and things. I don't want to copy Breath of the Wild, but they did, like every biome, lol. So did Minecraft, I guess. Good creative ones are rare. I should learn more about the parts of nature I plan to portray. Even if I take some liberties, I want to be respectful. Maybe parts of the world are gated by max flight height, so it's obvious where you can and can't go. Maybe just 2 or 3 upgrades. Trying to plan a game without planning a game, basically. I'd love to have semi-dynamic sand, snow, soil, mud, water. It's not really hard to make a game where you walk around on solid surfaces, but that's not realistic. Like, I don't know. Mud is such a common thing that's in almost no game because it's so difficult to portray well. I want a game where we're at that level where like the mud is more than just like a decal. Like it's something that's part, like it's there, and that it can be interacted with and like split apart or recombined, and like it gets complicated really fast, which is why I haven't done any of that myself. But in a game about exploring a natural world, I would want at least some kind of little give to the mesh or something. Like playing with the physical elements is fun. Lots of freedom in a video game. And yeah, that's kind of my thing, is like, if I just make a world that has fun things like in it, like toys to play with, basically, that, it might be like a sandbox. And I think that the players can make their own fun and will think of things that I hadn't thought of. And, as long as I put things that interact together in amusing ways or interesting ways, the possibilities are endless. Playing with the physical elements is fun, lots of freedom in a video game. If there will be combat, I want it to be simple and accessible. Challenge is optional, or at least there is a pacifist route or just a way to work yourself up to make combat easier, parentheses, optionally. And it's just, accessibility considerations. As far as I'm concerned, the more people who can play through a game, the better. If that means making the enemies, weak as shit just so they can get through without having to game over and over again, like, fine. Why not? Why not let them enjoy that? The hard version can still be there. You can still have your, test of skill version and extra challenging versions and, dev intended versions and all that thing. You can have more, not less, not one, more. Snow has such interesting qualities. You can pack it, clump it together. You can break the clumps up again, but not into snow, ice, or water. Not the powder. Oh, apparently there's powdery, dry, and wet snow, but still, I like the idea of being able to freeze water into ice and burn it back into water. Maybe extra intensity spells can even evaporate water into vapor/steam or condense it from the air. Just thinking about, things that might be fun to do in the virtual world. I hate getting harassed by monsters when exploring open worlds. Yeah. I'll avoid areas with too many or too scary monsters until I'm confident I'm powerful enough to handle them. I don't like having to go around such areas. I don't want to limit the players too much, but low ceilings can negate flight. What about fast travel? I kind of like a super flight idea, sort of a manual fast travel, but might be hard to do well. Should feel natural. And a game I think that does it pretty well, not perfectly, is the Legacy of Goku 2 and Boo's Fury on Game Boy Advance. Whenever you, there's flight points that take you up above the map, and then you fly to a different location, and then you just descend back down. And I was thinking it might be something like that, but with the actual 3D models, I could maybe shrink them down. And because it's smaller, you'll move faster over it, and then whenever you pick your point to descend back down, it'll scale back up and you'll be back in the real world. But that's just one idea. There's a million different ways to do fast travel and travel in general. I can't decide how easy/accessible I want the game to be. I guess I should just make my ideal game first and worry about potential adjustments for difficulty/comfort. The priority is making it the way that I envision it, really. But then after that, I do want more people to be able to experience as much of that vision as they can, or, if they see a way to make it better, let them make it better. Or hell, leave it to the modders, there you go, especially if I make it open source. I love the blank trophy case in Ocarina of Time, the indentations hinting at what's to come, letting you speculate and giving you some idea of how close to the end you are. And then I had this awesome idea. I'm going to go ahead and spoil now because I'll probably never make this game anyway. What if, after filling in the trophy case, it flips over and there's another trophy case on the back? So you think you've completed the game, but it turns out you're just halfway through. Zelda games have done stuff like that before, and, you know, other games too, of course. But with I call it a trophy case. It's the pause menu in Ocarina of Time that shows you like all the medallions and things that you've collected that don't actually serve any purpose. They're just showing you kind of, you know, your progress in the game. And you have that blank screen from the start showing you, you know, you'll fill in all these spots someday, except for the Triforce. Don't get your hopes up about that. And I just thought it'd be really neat if that then rotated around the other side and had a completely different set of collectibles for you to get to, you know. So now if you enjoyed the first half of the game, you're like, oh shit, there's more. And, you know, it'd be really exciting and cool. But, like, you know, I can't make one game, let alone two. So it's a fun idea, but I don't think realistically I can ever execute it. I probably shouldn't get too ambitious. I'm agreeing with myself a lot here. You know, my opinions on the game design stuff haven't changed that much since March of this year. Always putting the cart before the horse. A multi-act structure is too much for my first real game. Don't be afraid to redo to improve. Just make sure it is an improvement if possible. I like the idea of animals and natural cycles and interactions, and Aria can affect them as well with various abilities. And yeah, for a while I had it distilled just down to one level of the game, and I might talk about that more in the notebook. I want it to be very easy to move Aria where you want her to go. Flying should be intuitive and freeing, precise when it needs to be, but not complicated. Flight is a tricky thing. A canyon with thermals could be cool. So many things I want in the game. So too many for one person, surely? Surely. And then I drew a couple of like wings and a bird and a wireframe box, you know. 3D! What is this newfangled third dimension I'm hearing so much about? Tall tree with many nooks for bird activity. Maybe squirrels, too. I like treasure hunts. Sometimes scavenger hunts. I'm a hoarder when I play games. I want to keep my stuff maxed. I don't want drops to be too common, though. Unlike Zelda, where arrows might come from any grass, rock, or jar, you have to find collectibles from specific locations or creatures. I don't really want many depletables outside of tradables. Simple, satisfying, fun. Trying to find a good balance of tedious chores, because I mean, video games, when you get down to it, are basically like a to-do list, like busy work. But if it's a fun game and you enjoy that, then that's fine. Then you like spending that time that way. And so, you know, trying to figure out how can I make a scavenger hunt that's fun, because sometimes games make them very tedious and you're just going straight from lead to lead without any like thought or engagement. I want to avoid that for sure. Interrupting Aria for a personal note, I get frustrated when people misunderstand me, like very frustrated. It's because they're repeating the trauma mom caused me. But like, it's not fair. I can't expect them to be mind readers. I'm always yearning for the type of connection where we're always on the same page, where I don't have to spell out what I feel is obvious. Either way, I need to be more realistic with my expectations and do my best to communicate effectively. I'm trying. Blank page. Got to avoid motion sickness with the flying especially, but all movement if possible. I want these plans to carry me away, but I have to be realistic. I don't have endless resources. Far from it. And I tried to draw her, Aria, the main character, but like, I'm not a character designer, and this, I hadn't done any models yet, and so this is a goofy drawing. I'll show you in a sec. It even says next to it, I've never been good at drawing. Darkness power. Enter shadows, move from one to one, or manipulate them somehow, or go to the inverse plane. Light power enables full bright and reveals hidden things. What kind of fun things will Aria do in the different places she goes? And then I've got this little doodle of a bird. Not the best, but, you know, it's something. Some kind of puzzle where floating bodies are orbiting each other and you can knock some from one system to another until they're in the right configuration. Repair the penguin's ice slide. And you just quest ideas, basically. You think of them kind of like Mario stars. Sing to the beavers so they dam again. That's one that I've had on my mind for a while, singing to a group of beavers because they built a dam that flooded some people and like was a bad, call. And then they should build another dam now, but like they're scared of fucking up again, so they don't. And you would have to sing to them to encourage them and, remind them that, you can. I don't know how to put it. You can try again or not. It's up to you. It doesn't sound that inspiring when I just say it like that. I feel like there should be more about, why you would want to try again. But haven't, ironed it out. It might, don't know how it'll look in the game exactly. Just something to think about. Convince cats you shouldn't be attacked. Although they won't be entirely safe, you still have to be careful around them. Because I figure as a bird, cats might just want to pounce or attack and just on instinct. And you might have to, since you can talk and sing, you might have to persuade them that, it's better if we work together, something like that. Or, please don't eat me, I'll kill you. I don't know. A lot of options, right? It's just brainstorming. And then I keep talking about, are these plans just an escape? Just another way to hide? The sober way, distract my whole brain. There's almost no point in planning. I need a team to pull it off, and that team will shape the game. It's not just my project, it's too big. It's not happening right now. What should happen now? Where am I? What am I doing? I place too much value on victory. If I win, that proved I did everything right, that I am the best. But it doesn't. Not always, maybe even not often. I've given myself too much credit. I have to be more careful, slow it down. Maybe before every roll, ask the following. Who has played the best? Who has played the worst? Who deserves/doesn't deserve to win? How can I win from here? What are the odds of that? Do I understand that losing is a possibility, maybe even a likely possibility that I deserve? Either way, luck is at play. Yeah, trying to get out of the mindset of, thinking about everything in win versus loss and that I'm entitled to victory or that I am the best, because I'm not. I see that. It doesn't matter how many games you play, win or lose, if you don't learn anything from them. Took me 5 attempts, but I won. Won the next game, then got second, which was good enough. Getting late. Should sleep now. I'm not even sure what I was playing there, but it sounds like I was making progress with my patience practice. Evening of March 10th / morning of March 11th. Roommate's fiance went to the hospital. Oh, right. That was scary. He was in a lot of pain. He seems okay now. We're not entirely sure what happened. I hope we get more details later. It was some kind of caffeine reaction. He is okay now. He's fine. Stuff like that is scary out of nowhere, even if it had a slow onset, just hours, I think. Things can change faster than that. In a sad face. I drew a sad face because that's a scary thought. I think about it a lot, actually. It's partly why I can appreciate the things that I do have here, because I'm aware that at any point I might just lose what little I have left, or the good things that I have left, my ex and these relationships. Like, I'm scared what might happen in the future, and I can only be here while I'm here. I'm not ready to go to sleep. I'm not ready to go to work. Will I ever be? Preferably by next week. I'm still not drinking. Good job there. Maybe I really should give up the weed. Maybe I need another month. Is it safe to push myself? Is fear my excuse for laziness? I have certainly been through a lot. Maybe another 2 weeks or more is a good idea. I rush things. It's often about the victory and not the experience, or I only enjoy the experience when I am winning. It becomes about some kind of meta progression, and I get so caught up in thinking ahead that I take my victories for granted. The losses hit harder when I'm not prepared for them, when they catch me by surprise, sucker punch me. I guess I shouldn't be so naive. I have to expect to lose. It's always a possibility. I wasn't ready for it when I went to Granny's. I also should not let my fear of failure keep me from trying things that might be good for me, like going back to work. Expecting to lose doesn't mean letting the loss happen. It just means accepting it. Big difference. Losing my job is a slightly scary prospect, even if I can find something else. Everything is scary right now. I've hardly ever been so scared. Yeah, I would, you know, I couldn't see a way out. Um, it's just pain and loneliness, and no one would talk to me. Um, so I did a lot of talking to myself, and here we are. I keep saying, here we are, and that led us here. Well, it did. Everything led us here. That's how cause and effect work. That's how fucking time works, as far as we can tell. I'm always scared of losing too much. It feels like I already have, yet here I am with so much more left to lose. I'm scared to get happy because that's just one more thing I'll lose. It's true. I'm scared to get too good at anything, scared to put the real work in because it might be a waste of time. Always saving my best for later. It hurts though, it really does. I'm scared of more pain. I don't need more pain. I'm scared. Yeah. It's interesting because when I talk about learning a skill or throwing myself into work, like I think that in order to really get good at something or do your best work, you really got to put all of yourself into it. And in that sense, like, while you're doing that thing, you are living for that. And I couldn't do that. I couldn't put myself out there like that because I felt like I was gonna, lose myself or lose, what's left to me, lose my life. But, I was hiding. And while I was hiding in my little box, everything was kind of withering, like, the walls close back in. You gotta push, you gotta stretch, you gotta keep them out to grow, or they'll squeeze back in around you. It hurt. It was scary. I couldn't see, I couldn't see how to get happy. I was scared to even get happy again, Since then, things have happened. I've had good experiences with people here, and I have been happy. I'm happy now, I would say. Like, I feel bad for past me. Like, I remember this pain, and it was awful. But I mean, I'm here now. I'm not the person who wrote this book. Well, I'm not the person writing this. You know what I mean? Like, I was suffering, and that's where these words came from and these feelings that I'm kind of feeling again, but I'm not now. Like this, I'm just remembering. I don't know if that's a concept that needs explaining. It's hard to talk about this stuff, What are memories, feelings versus thoughts, and who I am versus who I was when I am the same person, really. Like rose petals blotting out the sun, bathing us in blood, red light, red sun in the morning. Everyone has died. Roses for their tombstone, bathed in blood red light. I don't know what I was talking about there. Like, it might be referencing one of the pictures that I had taken where you could see the sun shining through a pink flower. And maybe I just took that imagery and went a little more emo with it. Always trying to ascribe motivation to an unmotivated world. It just ticks on every day, each piece and part a part to play. No gods or deities, just resources and interactions, processes, resulting in changes, as many as they can. Growing to fill the space, rotting, collapsing, growing again. Sometimes the nothingness grows. An empty void can creep and swell. Changing the way that I think about the world, changing my worldview from it's God's fault and this and that to stuff just happens. What's the takeaway? Don't be caught off guard by disaster. It's only a matter of time. And under that I wrote ... soothing. Because the truth is not always easy to accept. The truth is often uncomfortable. And so I wrote, do it anyway. Do it to do it, even though it will be lost. Lost but never undone. Hell, maybe that too. I don't know the rules, but it happened. And there I'm saying that, like, even if we are a simulation, like on a hard drive kind of thing, and eventually that hard drive gets wiped, that doesn't mean we weren't here. That doesn't mean we didn't do the things we did. It's just hard, and it sucks, and I don't want to do it, but it's better than the alternative. Can't hide forever, can't sleep forever. I sure as shit don't want to work this job forever, but that's not a possibility. It will end sooner or later anyway, may as well make the most of it. Still trying to figure out whether or not I want to keep my job. And my mom, by the way, was always like, yeah, just, grin and bear it. Just suffer the abuse so that you get your money, so that you get what you want. And I don't think that's right. I think that was a terrible advice for a mother to give her child. Am I ready? Can I do it? I don't want to waste more time. I don't want to let anyone down, but it's too late for that anyway. Can I do the work? Then I mentioned some of the work stuff. Horrible, shitty Microsoft products. I think, that goes beyond work. Horrible, shitty everything, but also an inside look at how big companies do things. Lots to learn there, for better or worse. Yeah, it was interesting. And I can't say really how big companies do things. I can say how the teams that I interacted with did things at that time. Like, it's really not, it's not like I learned how the industry works. It's a very small sliver that I got to see. So I don't want to expound too much on it because it is specific, and it's, those people in that job, and, there's just no need for me to talk about like the the actual, technology that we were working with. Just so no one gets like the wrong impression though, my job was making sure that the virtual machines that people used every day to log in and do, general business things, were working. That's pretty much it. So then it's a matter of, like, from my perspective, I'm doing good because I get to help people, who are frustrated work through or get reconnected and back online and back to productivity. But the question is, what are they then doing for the company with that productivity, with all these tools? What is the whole machine working toward? And most big companies, it's just for money. And when it's just for money, they're grinding people up in the gears and and killing the planet too, typically. Sacrificing everything else for the money. And that's awful. That's terrible. I'm not sure what the solution is. It would be difficult to just upend our economy. But it's definitely something we should be thinking about. Alternatives to capitalism. Or at least some kind of checks to make sure that humanity stays in these businesses and they're not just money-sucking vampire machines like Terminators. Trying to prepare for my meeting with my boss in like 30 to 40 minutes. I don't know what I'll say. I already said in text I might need more time, maybe another 2 weeks. I should probably go back to my apartment and try to be self-sufficient. Less deliveries, more grocery trips. Do my job in private and maybe even try making a video or two. I don't know how long this will last. And I was thinking gaming videos at the time because, that was still my channel content even though I'd been taking a break from it. Work is going to eat up a lot of my time, but it will also get me awake and really give me more active time, though I find it stressful. Always more to do. I need to be careful how I proceed. I don't know if I can be careful anymore. I am uninvested in my own life. Can't tell my boss that. I don't know how I'm going to live. I'm scared to just dive in. What if there is no water? What do I do? What do I say? And that's something that has always been challenging for me, is speaking to people. When I was a kid, I would see adults and older people having conversations with each other, and it was mind-boggling to me. I was like, how do they know what words to say? How do they come up with this stuff that fast? That's insane. And I'm sitting there like, book, good. I could read, but the actual speaking, knowing which words to use was, I couldn't figure it out. It's tricky. That's all I can really say. It's time to just give up on happiness? That doesn't sound right or appealing. What other conclusion is there? Find happiness in something else? I can try, but the originals will always be first in my heart. It's no fair. No one else stands a chance. I can't let them in. I already gave my heart to others. It is stretched across space and time. I guess I should do it for the money? Money equal power equals options, more freedom. Hope that I have someone to share it with someday. My literal value is also ignored, lol. People act like I am worthless. They do. People are bastards. Go back to work out of spite? Prove all the fuckers wrong who didn't believe in me? Doesn't seem like great motivation. They can be wrong. They'll find reasons to discount me no matter my success. The money is good. Do good work for the money. Do help teammates. Don't get too close. Everyone is lost sooner or later. Give your skills, not your heart. Take their money, not their faults. Be the robot. And then a sad face. I didn't want to be the robot. I couldn't put on the human skin again. I don't want to go back to work Monday. No way. Maybe a couple more weeks. I do want the job. I'm just worried I won't be able to keep up with how discombobulated I am. So hard to focus. It's not just the weed. Do I need to prove that? That level of sobriety honestly scares me. Too intense and clear. Might help me focus on work and drive me crazy, drive me to drink. Medication? Question mark. For being in a shitty world? I don't want to pretend shit isn't shit. It is shit. Like, you know, I don't want to be like, why do I got to take medication when the world's sick? But kinda, like, that's how it feels. I don't know. They'll pay me a lot of money to wade through the shit, and for now, I can even do it remotely. I am angry. I want booze. It will get worse with work. I'm not clean yet. I'm scared. I should try to meet my goal, not drink until my birthday. My birthday is in October. I gave up on that goal. Everything is so difficult. If I go back to work alone in my apartment, I'll probably start drinking frequently again. That was probably true. If I try to work from here, I'll have a hard time keeping a schedule and will be high all the time. Also true. Hard to find privacy, too. Yeah, that made it difficult to do meetings and things. Granny's was perfect. The only home run. Not my home, though. Not anymore. They don't want me there. Hurts so much. Uncle Friend is going to cost me my job. Or my sobriety. But I know he doesn't want that. Fuck. Talk to me, asshole. And then a frustrated emoji face. I don't know. I hope he's okay. Can he really be worse than me? Is what I'm asking at the bottom, because like it still felt targeted and personal, and like I don't feel this way anymore. But at the time I was like, oh, it's, you know, this is all his fault. Like he had the chance to save me, and instead he made everything worse, just like my parents. But like it's not his fault. That's not fair to put on him. I was still thinking wrong. I was still thinking wrong and looking at the world wrong. He did not cost me my job. I chose to quit my job because I needed to focus on myself. I needed to do exactly what I'm doing right now. Met with my boss. I'll either go back to work a week from Wednesday or call company myself and add another 2 weeks or something. I could provide my personal email. She's so nice. I hope I don't let her down. She was. My boss was very kind and, you know, understanding of my situation as much as she could be, and always very supportive of, you know, if you need time off, just let me know, or, you know, here's how to put it in the system, and yeah, I'll make sure that, you know, you can get the time that you need to do the important things that are in your life. And you know, for that I'm very appreciative. And even some of the conversations that we had, she took the time to value me, you know, to talk to me as more than like just an employee and see me as a person, a human being. And, you know, really talk about kind of the struggles that I was going through. Not in depth by any means, but it was enough. You know, we hit some serious notes, and she, you know, especially about Granny's death, you know, anyone can relate to that. She was there. You know, that's not fair to her either. She shouldn't have to be my mom. I'm scared. How do I live like this? I hope it's not for long, but I guess I should try to get comfortable just in case. It's so hard to get into anything. Scared, scared, scared. Scared to do anything. What do I even want to do? Scared, scared, scared. Angry, sad, scared. But less so than I was last month. I can't believe they're all gone. Stretched ever thinner. How much thinner? How much farther before I snap into pieces? How do I engage with people without getting too close to them? Gotta stop wearing my heart on my sleeve, I guess. The expressionless robot. Self-portrait, beep boop, life is life, and I am living it. This robot text is difficult for me, lol. I love you. Take my word for it. Beep boop. And here's my robot. I don't know why the text was so difficult for me. I guess just drawing in straight lines instead of squiggly bullshit. Or maybe I was very high. I am awash with sadness. I miss my friends. I wish Uncle Friend could talk to me. I wish I didn't feel so alone. Who can I really talk to? Absolutely nobody. Not therapist, not mom, not ex, not everything. Almost friend, not my own family, not friend or any other friends. Sorry, there's names in here, but, none of these people. Maybe once, but I blew that. Not that friend. Maybe college roommate? Maybe. Probably not. I'm afraid to even inflict my presence upon his life again. I am cursed. I can't help it. Bad things always happen. Things so bad and just for me that not a single solitary soul can even see it. Just me. Solely my pain, my loss, my hurt. It makes me feel like I'll be alone forever. A self-fulfilling prophecy, but it'd be true anyway. I have talked to my college roommate since then, and I sent him my last video of subject 1, so he knows now that I'm going through some shit, or at least I have, and am trying to make it better now. And I don't know if he'll watch this one or not, but hi. I a lot of this time, I say stuff like I'm alone and things like that, but like people offer to talk to me, and sometimes people try to talk to me, and sometimes I try to talk to them, but it's hard, and like I struggle to trust people. I struggle to open up because often when I do, they just dismiss my shit and make terrible assumptions about me. But not this guy. This guy, he's a good friend and a good listener, and he knows that I don't mean bad. He's lived with me. He knows kind of that I can be frustrating or I don't know what the best word for it is. Bad. But yeah, I just wanted to say to him that it's not his fault. I don't want to present it in the way that like, oh well, my friend was not there for me. Like he was, but I couldn't connect with him. I couldn't make the connection to take him up really on his offer to talk to me. Like I was still thinking wrong. And I was worried about inflicting my presence on him. Like I can recognize that I'm not stable and haven't been basically my whole life, and I worry about the effect that I have on my friends, especially now that I've realized, oh shit, I was living like my abusive parents my whole life, and I, may have given my friends some of these same bad habits, and I feel awful about that. And I hope that, wherever they are, whatever they're doing well. And I hope that we can reconnect someday, and, I can make things right if possible, somehow. Make things better, at least. The kindest thing I can do is stay away from others. How do I live with this pain by myself every day and with no alcohol? Nothing matters, not to me. Just the old happiness I'll never meet again. Just the old friends frozen in time in my heart. Love's lost, stretched heart. How do I proceed? The light has been out of my life for a very, very long time. We almost relit it. Almost. God damn it. Fuck. Just don't think about it. Fucking how. What else is there to think about? It was my life. Underline. Exclamation marks. Yeah, it felt like after Granny's that I was a problem. Like that I couldn't, I had no future, and that I would just be bad for people. And I guess I'm just lucky that my ex is here for me. We almost relit it. Almost. Hard to say if it's lit now or not. The light has gone out of my life for a very, very long time. I feel like it's back. I don't think it's bright, but I think it's, flickering or dim, and I feel like I'm plugged back in, and I feel like the current is surging through me again, and it's low right now. It's a low, like, amp. I don't know. I'm a pretty dumb smart guy. I don't actually know that much about electricity. Yeah, I think just the more that I practice living like this, thinking this way, being kinder to myself, in the world, really, that things will get better. Hard to see them getting worse, you know? Shouldn't say shit like that, no. I'm still not sorry, Mother, because you killed me. And that's a lot of underlines. That happy child is long dead and gone. I am his fucking ghost. Here's that. And yeah, I am still of the opinion that my parents should not have taken me from my friends. My friends were better for me than my family, and I should have stayed with them. I could have had a much better life than being abused and made into an abuser. And now Uncle Friend's doing it, but at least he has the excuse of multiple trauma. I can understand trauma causing him to push me away. It's just the worst time possible, and I'm scared. I have no life at the moment. This is not how friends treat each other. This is not how parents treat their kids. What is this apathetic, even hateful, nightmare world of cruel ignorance? You don't know how much suffering you caused. And that one's underlined many times. It hurts. So sad. Miss my friends. No home. No hope. Yeah, there's a lot of suffering because of their stupid decisions. This is not love. What happened? Why don't I deserve it? I had it. Please. I'm so lonely. Please. We were so close. Please. Please. If this is as bad as the urges are now, I can handle that. But there might be worse ones ahead, and they might never go away. So yeah, it's hard to describe it. It was almost like it took over, it's, you know, you could almost feel the sadness coming on, and then you would have like an episode, or I should say I don't know why I'm putting you in my shoes. I could feel the sadness coming on, and you know, it's all these thoughts are like snowball down the brain hill, I guess. I don't know. It avalanches all over my good mood and buries me under this blanket of sadness and regret, and I get lost down there thinking in circles. But I was starting to break out. I was starting to make progress and have those episodes less. But there are still, you know, bad episodes. It got pretty bad. Replied to Mom just so she doesn't think I'm dead. Texted Uncle Friend trying to explain again where I'm at and how I wish I could help him. Don't know if he'll read it. Don't know if I am helping or hurting. I'm still not really sure with the stuff that I send him. I'm just sending him like my videos and things because it's just where I'm at. And, you know, it's honesty. He can make of it what he wants to. If he wishes not to receive them, he can let me know. I'd probably respect his wishes, unlike my parents, because they actually need to hear it. Ordered more steak. Fucking why not? A fancy place in town. Usually isn't open when I look. Gonna try another place too. I don't know what I'm doing. I hope Uncle Friend replies. I hate this free-falling, pinwheeling helplessness. Sad sack. Sometimes I order steaks. Steak is something that I like to eat. And, you know, I don't typically go to fancy places. Like an Outback Steakhouse is plenty for me. But also, like, I'm kind of falling out of just dining out in general. Like, it seems really wasteful. But, like, you know, at this time I was still doing quite a bit of door dashing. And while I would typically try to keep things cheap, sometimes I would just splurge and get what I wanted. Why not? I haven't had a steak in a while. Although, I did get some Indian food that was really freaking good. And that was kind of pricey, but it was so worth it. Oh, there's a couple of piano keys that I've done tally marks on. I think it was some kind of like, pretty sure I fucked it up, but whatever. Sad sack, they might be giants. Oh, yeah, okay, that's what it is. Hammer the E, hammer the D. Sing about unrequited love and endless Ouroboros of suffering. Oh, LOL. They canceled my order. They say it's because they're closed, though they appear open. Oh well, too expensive anyway. And here's the keys I was talking about. Very sad sack, he's a sandbag. Very, very, very sad sack. Something like that. It's a fun song. Food was good, but now my laptop isn't working. I tried to update Discord. Stupid me. I wonder if that cancer played a part in breaking my system. Just par for the course at this point. Fuck me. God damn it. Fuck. I don't think it was Discord that broke my system. I think it was the Wi-Fi card itself went out because I tried like reinstalling the whole thing and, was not able to get it working again. Why do I try? I screamed on this page in, maximum letters. Because, I felt like everything was failing and my computer is very important to me. I do a lot of work on it. Not my work computer, that's a separate device, but still. Wiped the hard drive, struggling with installation because I'm so fucking retarded. I was frustrated that, I had to do it at all, and every little, when I'm in that bad mood of, I shouldn't even have to be doing this, which is, troubleshooting my computer in the first place, and now reinstalling it, and, every little speed bump that I hit along the way just upset me even more. I probably should have stopped and, just taken a break from my computer for a bit, but I couldn't handle that. I felt like I needed it. I probably have to download a whole new image to get out of this keyring hell. I keep wasting time with failures. Story of my life. Then I wrote, fuck. And, I wrote it FU and then CK on top of the FU and did them extra scribbly. So it kind of just looks like, nothing. But yeah, it was some kind of keyring issue, but I think if you can just Google it and it's super easy to fix, and eventually I figured it out, but I don't know how long, and it made me feel stupid because, I've always wanted to be a good, programmer, a good computer user, a smart person who understands the device that they're using, and, installing Arch Linux really isn't that complicated. There's just a process to it, there's a number of things that you gotta do or be aware of, and basically I just need more practice with it and I'll get better. But for now I'm still very much guide dependent. I can't do it on my own at all, and when issues arise I struggle to troubleshoot them, and so here I wrote, I hate being retarded. I wish I had something, anything. It's all just out of reach. What the fuck happened? Please help. I hate being so worthless. Actual trash should be discarded. Kill me. So fucking pissed. God damn it. If it's not one fucking thing, it's another. Fuck, 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 fuck. And it's very spicy fuck down there. I wrote down the number of my Linux device, my hard drive and my laptop while I was, for reference, while I was mounting it and setting up the boot process. Almost back in business. Boot's fine, just adding the essentials. Big storm outside. Nature is scary. Got Steam sound working. Pain in the ass. Haven't tried controller yet. I remember Joy-Con D. Shouldn't be too bad, and I even backed up my N64 layout. So that way I could use my Switch Pro controller and just copy-paste the layout. Just tired. I feel bad about not backing up the girls' time splitters data. Almost like I undid one of the few victories I've been hanging on to. Nothing matters. Yeah, I didn't think about it beforehand, but on this laptop, this was the laptop that I had downloaded Time Splitters to and had them play through most of the campaign. And I was still thinking at this point that I'll, at some point I'll go back out there, and at some point they'll be back out there and then they can finish their campaign. But that never happened. And also I didn't back it up. And so then when I wiped it, now it's just gone. So if we ever do get back together, I plan on, recreating their save files, basically, have them put in their names like before, or new names if they want, and then just kind of cheat or hack our way up to back to where we were in the game so that they don't have to replay because of my mistakes. And yeah, almost like I undid one of the few victories I've been hanging on to. All I can really hope for is that they will understand that, I just didn't think of it and it was an easy mistake, and really not a costly mistake because we can just recreate the data. So I started thinking of another project, a small one that I could maybe do just in a single web page, basically, with my existing knowledge of JavaScript. And I was going to make a Tamagochi style kind of toy virtual pet thing with a cat. And so I wrote on this page, kitty Tamagotchi, sunlight to nap in, and cat bed or anywhere, mice to chase, litter box to clean, stuff to climb on, multiple screens/rooms, mini games, secrets, exploration, discovery, but small, simple. Living room, backyard with fish pond or aquarium somewhere. Bedroom, secret in closet. Comfy bed, knock stuff off of nightstand. Kitchen, stuff to knock off counter and table. Sink gets stinky if you don't do dishes. Flies come out. Kitty plays with water from the tap. Just ideas. Jesus Christ, 32 by 32 pixels. I think I had looked up the size of like original Tamagotchis and they're just tiny, like 32 by 32 for the whole game. But they hardly showed anything, like they just showed your little pet bouncing around, basically. My kitty sprite is about 17 by 14 pixels. Only 2 of her can completely fit on the screen at once. Jumbo Cat, she's the important part. By playing, you unlock features like calling kitty to your room, prompting kitty with 100% chance of success, a map, fast travel, not that there should be too many rooms in the first place, a kitty tracker for the map, new palette and color options, ability to control in-game time of day, plan to be unlockable features, so they probably were just never going to happen, but stuff I like to think about. Can I squeeze in text output? Is that cheating? I haven't owned a Tamagotchi in a long time. I actually don't remember if they would put text display in their output or if it was just pictures. I feel like pictures would be more universal, so I'd rather just do it that way if I could. And then I drew some icons like an eyeball, a magnifying glass, trying to think like what's a good examine button that, is universal. A question, in-game cursor, maybe you move it with some arrows. What buttons for interacting? Cycle out of the room to enter a different room. Even without the upgrade to summon kitty, she will typically follow you after a while, pretending it's just coincidence, of course. But sometimes she might get caught up in her own business along the way, or wander elsewhere when her attention wavers. Not too much. Don't want too much waiting or frustration. Whatever game I make, I don't want it to be like, a frustrating thing for the player. Even if I end up making like a rage game someday, I want it to be, it's so hard to describe. Like, I don't want you to feel tricked when you're playing it. Even if it's a game about throwing things in your face, that kind of thing. But generally, I don't like those games anyway, so I probably wouldn't make one. They seem more fun to make than to play. Does the player actually have to care for kitty, keep her meters happy? Nah, it'll be more like each time you go to the litter box, there's a chance it'll have something for you to clean, but consequences are minor if you don't. Kitchen, living room, bedroom, dining room, backyard, garage, where is litter, where is food? And so now I was trying to map out like the virtual house that I would represent in the Tamagotchi with different screens. Rooms may have multiple screens, especially living room and garage, but I really didn't want it to get too complicated or big. This is the problem. I think about an idea and then I'm like, oh, well, it should be like a full-on thing and like make it a whole house instead of just like a room or two, Living room, facing door, windows let in sunlight to nap in. Oh, might see birds or bugs out there too. The rug is comfy even without light. Left to kitchen, right to bedroom. Garage has laundry machines and litter box. Maybe there's something in the machine. Left or right to kitchen. Kitchen has tall counter, sink, and window, or screen door to backyard, dining room. Exit left. It's just the map of the place, basically. Pond with fishes. Window shows you where you were. Door to kitchen. Mouse hole lets them in sometimes. Sometimes it's sunny. Sometimes it rains. Sometimes it's night. Go left to living room. Stand under bed or in nightstand. Underbed view, closet view. Each window only lets in light at appropriate time and weather. Minigames! A game of reflex and timing. Whack a mouse. Mice peek before emerging. Don't strike too soon. Position the cursor over the hole and strike when they come out. Hit as many as you can before the time ends. Hit them all to unlock survival mode, idle mode, and a prize. Fishing, a game of patience and timing. Position kitty and wait for fish to come into range. The fish kitty is targeting will blink briefly. Look for new target. Repeat if any are in range. When the fish you want is flashing, strike to initiate. Complete on-screen golf-like timing game to catch the fish. Some fish are harder to catch, requiring precise timing, but not too precise and not too rare. Maybe only like 3 fish total. Looking back on that subject, I called it hiding. When we had gotten into it, what did I call it? Frustration? Hurting. We went from hurting to hiding. Up next is slipping. I'm going to go ahead and jump into subject 4. I guess I should make a new video.